Welcome back everyone to another episode. Team, in this episode I want to take a look at the role of empathy in classroom management and understanding student perspective. Okay, I'm not talking about the wishy-washy stuff, but stuff that's been researched, it's founded in the practice, and things that's definitely helped me in my teaching practice over time. So, like I always tell you, if you can like, subscribe, do anything to get this content getting out there, it'd be much appreciated. So, what is empathy and what it isn't? So what it is, so looking at putting yourself in other people's perspectives, okay, in the student's perspective, if you're a leader, in your staff's perspective, even your perspective, to get a better understanding of sort of walking in that person's shoes and seeing where they're coming from, okay? So I mean, there's times that in teaching we feel like a student's playing up and we can take it personal. I've been there, it's definitely a thing, but sometimes you just got to step back and go, okay, what's this student going through? Okay, what are they finding hard? What's difficult? You know, what's their background situation? What's happened the rest of the day? Where are we in the day, period-wise, all that stuff. Okay, it's the same thing when you're dealing with colleagues. There might be a outburst, unexpected outburst, some kind of emotional dysregulation. It's not always what might seem or come across as a personal attack. I mean, obviously don't accept personal attacks, but put yourself in that person's shoe to sort of get a better understanding. It's definitely going to help with your behaviour management of students and then obviously working with colleagues as well. But I mean, it's not just letting students getting away with stuff or being a pushover either, you know? So it's definitely, putting yourself in other people's perspective, but you know, you're being assertive in who you are as well. So okay, you considered the other options, but I mean, don't think it's just that you got to do is you put yourself first. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't think that you just got to, put everyone before you and see their perspective before yours. All I'm saying is just take into consideration. Okay, sometimes we can get blindsided as teachers and sort of narrow focused and sort of all caught up in our feelings, which is human nature. But you also want to sort of incorporate other people as well. So why empathy matters in the classroom? Well, first of all, it's going to help to de-escalate classroom situations. Okay, in society in these day and age and social media and all the constant stimulations that students are coming up in, emotional dysregulation seems more prevalent than it has been in the past. At least I find that. So, emotional outbursts are more often. Now, it's not saying that we have to accept them as teachers, but it's definitely by understanding them and taking the wider perspective, it's going to help you de-escalate that situation quicker and get that situation under control, which is going to be, they're going to be the crux to it all. You have a safe and calm learning environment. That's where you get the most out of your learners. Also, it builds long-term respect and not fear. If students see you constantly, if you're reacting to their reactions or you're losing your mind and you're shouting and screaming, students are going to go, well, you're just getting dysregulated. Then you freak me out every time you start yelling at me, So you want to stay calm. There's a big theme in these videos, stay calm and composed. And then students are going to test you. Students, want to see where the boundaries are and tiptoe right up to the boundaries and sometimes over it. But over the long term, you're being consistent with it and, seeing their side. And then another key factor is explaining your side as well. So, I mean, I find behaviour management these days with my students, okay, you're being late. This is why it's frustrating to me, because then if you're late, everyone else is late before you know it. Half the class is walking in half an hour late and I've got a curriculum to get through and everything else. It's frustrating. Okay, and then obviously I can see the student's perspective and talk to them about that. Also creates empathy, creates a safe and emotional climate. And it's hard. I mean, it's not easy to manage 25, 20, 30 kids in the class with all different emotions, but it definitely is a step forward with having that empathetic approach to your teaching, to your classroom management, to your positive learning environment to help push students in the right direction. And it makes students are likely to own their behaviour. Okay, so I'll just go back to that point I just talked about. Sorry, my neck's just cramping up. Just go back to that point I previously talked about. I get the most from behaviour management when I sort of tell students how their behaviour affected me and then how can we work together? Why are you being late to class? Is there a reason for it? Are you just doing it because you want to miss class to hang out with your friends, or you're doing it because the curriculum's too hard, or you feel there's a breakdown relationship between me, the teacher, and you, the student. I think if you're getting that, putting everything out there within reason and being professional, obviously, at all times, that's going to help as well. Okay, so how to show empathy in the moment. Get your deep breathing, get you calm, compose, stay calm. Okay, and if you're more of an anxious person, you can be quick to panic. You can train calmness as well and composure, but you just got to work at it. Ask yourself, what do I know and what do I know right now? So what's the situation? What can I do? What can I get a control on right now to help the classroom situation settle down and this situation settle down? Use questions, not assumptions. So, okay, what's going on? Why are we flaring up? Okay, you're bored, fine, but at the same time, I'm not here because, I'm just trying to keep you animated. I'm trying to get you to a better life through education. So, okay, you're bored right now, but building that discipline, that resilience is going to help you when you leave school and go into the outside world. So I understand your perspective as a student, and then this is my perspective as a teacher. Okay, there's going to be some compromise there at times, but having both point of views is the key. And then obviously use your reflective statements. It sounds like you're overwhelmed. I used to hate this stuff, but you don't have to sound exactly like it, but just, okay, I understand you're frustrated. Why are you frustrated? Okay, the naming the big words or whatever it is, the big feelings as I'm going through with my toddler at the moment, obviously helps that, or the behaviour development, and it's different with adolescents. Okay, so looking at the post-conflict repair through empathy, this is probably key, I think, to your restorative practices or building any relationship back up that may have fallen down. So it's just people are going to flare up. You're going to have good days and bad days, and I always make sure that when I'm talking to a student or addressing students in private dialogue or whatever, I always leave it, look, I don't hold grudges, but this is how we need to move forward. And then the student the next day might test you to see if you're holding to that. It might be a few minutes late, or might be consistent. And go, okay, that's what we talked about yesterday. Don't get personal. It can be tempting to get personal at the time, especially with everything going on in teaching, then plus everything that's going on in your own personal life as a teacher. You just got to try to separate those two for the best possible outcome. Again, don't just think that this is just being a pushover or letting students get away with it. Get students to acknowledge their feelings, but then obviously promote accountability as well. Okay, so accountability is a powerful tool for anyone in the world, let alone young people going through the world right now. And the final part of this video is learn to teach empathy to students. I think, empathy is an important skill, especially with possibly everything that's going on in the world right now. We have more empathetic people in the world. I don't think it's a bad thing. Get crazy with this and do role-playing scenarios and what if, and your journaling practices. But I think the main key here is your restorative practices. Okay, students are going to get the most. You're going to get the most out of your students, and the students are going to get the most out of you. Most out of their classroom time if they've got a good professional relationship with you. Okay, you want to make sure that if that relationship's getting torn down, that you can build it up. Okay, and that's the restorative practices comes in. So, like always, team, thanks for listening. If you've got any more comments on the role of empathy in classroom management practices, please drop down in the comments below. Like always, thanks for listening. I'll catch you next time.